Well, in Wednesday's business news, despite the massive size of the African continent, there is a crisis looming over the shortage of fertile land. Well, joining us from New York with the details is Africa 54's business correspondent, Jill Malandrino. Hello, Jill.
Hi, good morning. So the New York Times had a fascinating feature piece over the weekend that addressed the decline of fertile land. This is concerning because 70% of Africa's population makes a living through agriculture, higher than on any other continent. That's according to the World Bank. Population swells, climate change, soil degradation, erosion, poaching, global food prices, and even the benefits of affluence are exerting incredible pressure on African land. At the same time, high birth rates and lengthening lifespans mean that by the end of this century, there could be as many as 4 billion people on the continent, about 10 times the population just 40 years ago.
Well, Jill, the battle for fertile land between neighbors and wildlife has always been an issue in Africa, hasn't it?
That's true, but the difference is it's getting more bloody and political. Let's take a look at Kenya, for example, in Laikipia County. It's a few hours drive north of Nairobi. That's a microcosm of many of these complicated issues. On this one, you have rugged plateau, poor herders, rich landowners, large and small-scale farmers, commercial cattle ranchers, tour operators, passionate wildlife activists, and the animals are all competing for the same space. So many residents say that this past year has been the bloodiest ever, and one reason is political meddling connected to Kenya's national and local elections scheduled for the following week in August. Kenya is a democracy, but many describe it as more of an ethnocracy. Kenyans vote overwhelmingly along ethnic lines, and elections stir up those ethnic tensions, which can lead to displacement.
Given all those layers, are there any solutions within reach?
Well, Africa has the highest fertility rates in the world, and more African governments are pushing contraceptives, saying that the best answer for densely populated countries is smaller families. For arid regions, there are proven ways to replenish dry or overgrazed land, including spreading new types of grass seeds by airplane. Another approach would be a national plan letting herders graze certain areas at certain times, but forbidding them from others, which would allow ruined pasture land to regrow. But the issue is, as ecologists say, that little of this is being done at this time.
Well, very interesting news there. Jill Malandrino, Africa 54's business correspondent, speaking to us from New York.